I'm with Simon Hollingworth, General Manager of Lincoln Drill Hall. What does the Lincolnshire one mean to you and the Drill Hall?
It means a great deal, actually. It's been quite a journey. A year ago, if you'd asked me that question, I would have said, well, not much, it's just some extra meetings. A year on, and it means, without sounding over-egging and pudding, it's the future, really, because Lincolnshire has an incredible network of venues, and we all do great stuff. But if we all continue just doing great stuff on our own, we're all going to not necessarily wither and die, but there's too many challenges facing us, whether it's funding, whether it's sharing audiences, whether it's profile. We have to work together. And in Lincolnshire more than anywhere else, because the challenge is because it's such a huge county and with a relatively sparse population, but an astonishing network of venues, and it's about them all working together. There's currently 11 venues working on this project, of which 5 years ago, 6 of those didn't even exist. So there's been a massive sort of investment in the infrastructure, and in order for that to be sustainable and to develop, the only way of surviving is to work together.
You say work together. I mean, what does that actually mean? Can you give any examples?
Yeah, sure. It means sharing information, sharing ideas, sharing data. We've always been a little bit... inevitably, if you work in a venue, you are, by definition, you're a little bit protective of what it is that you're representing and your own brand, all that kind of stuff. So there's been a real... we have to hold on to that. No one's talking about suddenly, forgetting all of that. We have our own identity and all that kind of stuff, because that's what audiences like. But it's about recognising that we need to... I need to find out how other venues deal with similar problems. How do they deal with funding difficulties from the Arts Councils or their district council? How do they analyse their audiences? How do they, if they're not selling a show, how do they deal with that? How do they... it's all those kinds of practical things. And then beyond that, sort of what's even more exciting is that there's a particular co-commissioning project, which we're going to talk about shortly, which is the sort of thing that we never normally get the chance to do, because it's like, money's so tight, you wouldn't dream of actually commissioning something. But what this project is allowing us to do is to say there's 3 venues. Next week there's a show, Plested and Brown, that is going to Grantham as a little tester, and then in October it's coming to Spalding, Grantham and Stamford. We've put collectively some money in to make that happen. We're a co-commissioner, but we're all getting a piece of that. And on the front page of the Echo's What's On today, there's a piece leading on it. And it's leading about the fact that the venues are working together and that you can go and shape a show. And there's a bus going from Lincoln, one from Spalding, to Grantham to see what is basically only half an hour of a show that's not been finished yet. And I'm just thrilled, because I think that's exciting, but clearly so does the media, because it's so different. And that's the kind of thing that we need to be doing. And just operating in a different way, rather than just all these separate places.
So the synergies that you're beginning to witness, and that they really are starting to pay dividends.
They really are, and it's because so much of this is about energy, actually. Because it's, everyone's busy. I mean, everyone I know is busy, whether you work in the arts or not. I mean, ludicrously busy, so stretched. And the arts is particularly because we care so much, because we're so passionate. And it's when this process started, I found myself thinking, this is all well and good, but actually I haven't got time. I'm duty manager tonight, and I've got to clean the toilets before I go, or whatever it might be. But by sticking with it, we've realised that actually we can improve some of that, because we need to be looking further ahead, being strategic, and working out where we're going to be in the next 2, 3, 5 years. Whereas previously, I think we had our eyes down, and yeah, I think that's what it is, actually. Our heads were down, and now our heads are up. It doesn't mean all the problems go away, or that it's all suddenly resolved. What it means is that we're more aware, and we're all thinking, you've got that problem as well. How can we solve it together?